Let's see. Sorry, guys. Trying it again.
And now, the officials are
And it looks like...
and they are ready.
Nope.
The fighters are in the ring.
It won't let you
Actually,
on,
no.
huh?
It looks like it's
There we
working
are.
here.
Oh, here we go.
So we couldn't play. For some reason, it wouldn't let us... it kept freezing up in the Kendall Holt versus, what do they call it, the Torres. But we're able to play right now David Lemieux versus Curtis Stevens, which was a brutal fight. So I apologize for everybody that was tuning in. It really sucks.
Yeah, you know, we're going to have tech issues, especially now. Like I said, servers are crashing rapidly, more than ever. So we thank you guys for hanging in there with us as we work through all these issues and whatnot. But I want to say, most importantly, a salud, a gendan, good health, everybody. The Kendall Holt thing, we'll run that back eventually at some point, guys. And that was a very intense fight.
So here we are again. Third attempt. Is this the third or the fourth attempt?
I think it's like 7. But you know what? We're still here. We're fighters, bro. We're fighting. We're getting through this.
All right,
I'm
we're
pulling
back
up this
again.
video screen here. Yep. I'm getting my video back here, so give me 1 second. Let's see what you're seeing over there, guys.
The former IBF middleweight champion of the world, Lemieux.
I always liked David Lemieux, man. Like from day one when I saw him on ESPN2.
How could you not like the kid?
Oh, of
the
course.
KO artist. He comes out and he fights. You know.
Oh, there's no doubt. Great left hook. Came out, like you said, fought really hard. ESPN2 back in the day, in Canada, selling out, beautiful, like, locations. Like, I love, like, the table settings they had, where they had, like, people just sitting down, like, like lamplight type shit. And it just remarkable stuff, but fell a little bit short going down the stretch. But for right now, let's focus on this one.
All right, let's see how this goes, and then we'll try the Kendall Holt again at the end. Let's see if that even works.
Yeah, that'd be cool, man, because that's a real great one, as a matter of fact.
Right.
Make this a clean fight. Check yourself at all times.
So what do you got going on tomorrow, David? Back to work, you said before?
Been back for a while. Working tomorrow. And then I'm doing a live show with Keith Eidig from Boxing Scene. I think we're doing it tomorrow, either tomorrow or Tuesday. We got a bunch of stuff we're going to cover, talk some boxing on Leaving the Ring. So that should be pretty fun, man.
Yeah, awesome, man. Keith Eidig is always a great soundbite. And speaking of great soundbites, I listened to Evan Ratowski, most recent show, and he broke down the boxing business and a lot of great things, that we have to look forward to, and where the trajectory of ESPN and the networks are and Showtime. I don't want to give any spoilers away, but guys, listen to that show. It was awesome. And then also, on Leave It in the Ring Network, we had Steven Espinosa recently come through.
I know 2 shows I haven't. Honestly, I'm going to tell you the truth. I haven't had a chance to listen to them because since my dealerships are opening up and one of my major ones has opened back up, I just got like swamped, like big time. I know like a few people, D-Style. I think you even called me. A lot of folks, boxing folks, had hit me up and I just couldn't even answer it, or I didn't even have a chance to get back to anybody. So I apologize. But here we are. And here we go, man.
Let's do it.
This fight I knew was going to be explosive. Stevens in the same breath of David Lemieux was a KO puncher.
There's no doubt we knew this one was going to be very explosive.
Oh, I was excited when it was announced. I was like, oh shit. Main events and Golden Boy were doing it big for this fight because you knew that somebody was going to get knocked out. Silly.
That's what's up. Sometimes you see fights being announced, you see it on paper, and like, oh man, this is gonna be brutal. And that's what we got here. We got a great exchange, fireworks. And I'm glad you're back to work, David, and totally understood, man. Like a lot of people right now are adjusting to this new normal, and using the phone so much too is crazy. It's very taxing, and your battery dies all the time. It's like, there we go. I don't know
about you, man, but I would love to see David Lemieux versus Canelo Alvarez.
I always wanted that fight. That fight because I think that David Lemieux, it would bring out the best version of David Lemieux because of Canelo and how great Canelo fights. Is I think like Lemieux would really go after him and try his best to land those left hooks that we're seeing right now here in round 1 against Curtis Stevens.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Not for nothing. I think Canelo would outbox, David Lemieux. But the one thing that we never found out with David Lemieux and Gennady Golovkin is how hard does David Lemieux really, hit? I mean, we know how hard he hits, but against the top tier guys, because remember this, Golovkin never really got touched. Golovkin became the boxer in that fight with David Lemieux. Where Stevens right here is not being the boxer. He's right there in the trench with David Lemieux, man. Like he's like, hey, you hit me, I'm gonna hit you back. Right now he's covering up, but earlier in this round he was letting his hands go.
Yeah, he came out there to fight, and he was definitely trying to get himself jockeying in position for a big money fight. Was Lemieux and Stevens, but Lemieux had a better game plan going in, seemingly in this round right here.
Chicano Papa said it would be a good Canelo KO highlight reel. I don't know, man. Here's my sense. If David Lemieux is healthy, he's a guy that you don't want to sit in the pocket with. You know what I mean? You just don't want to be there. And I think that's why Gennady Golovkin, who was blowing everybody. Remember this. Gennady Golovkin was saying it was going to be a street fight, Mexican style. And when the first round, it never even turned into a street fight. There was not even a glimpse or a moment that you thought, oh shit, okay, we have a fight now. Whereas right now with Lemieux and Steves, dude, this is a fight. This is a fight of who's got the bigger punch, So I'm not sure if Canelo would want to sit there and trade him, but I think Canelo would box circles around David Lemieux. I just would love to see, because I think, okay, let me take this back. Gennady Golovkin didn't want to test his chin with David Lemieux, but I think that Canelo is that ballsy enough to go, if you hit me solid, I'm going to hit you solid. And it might spell for a different type of fight, because a lot of folks didn't think that Canelo Alvarez was going to stand and try to trade with Gennady Golovkin, or even try to push Gennady Golovkin back, or fight the Mexican style that Gennady Golovkin was promoting. But he did.
I think this version of David Lemieux has a great shot against Canelo, but the nowadays version of David Lemieux, which we've seen, jeopardize in the Triple G fight and, show up and be complacent in other situations. I don't know. I mean, I think they fight fire with fire, and I think Lemieux is a real serious puncher. I really believe in his punching power. When you have punching power, you could win a fight at any point in time. There's no doubt about it. But you got to land the shot, and you got to have the skill to do it. Canelo has become so much more savvy nowadays. And
he's so savvy. I mean, look, some of the shots that Lemieux's throwing right now, where Curtis is just letting him touch the gloves, and he has gloves up high and just touching the side of the gloves. Canelo's going to make you miss, and he's going to tire you out. And we know with David Lemieux that as soon as he starts throwing all those power shots and he misses them, he's going to get exhausted. That's how he's been beaten before. He ends up expending all this energy, and then he's done. Here, Curtis Stevens is not. He's not a mover. That's not his style. He's a hunter. what was the name of the kid from the Contender? I was in Reno and I was front row covering the fight. God, what was the name of the guy that beat him in Reno that was on the first series of the Contenders? The bald kid.
Okay, so I'll break down some contenders. Ishe Smith.
Ishe Smith was in the second episode, second series.
Jesse Brinkley.
There you go. Jesse Brinkley's
right?
the one that beat Curtis. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was there, and that was actually an upset.
Yeah, I mean, no doubt about it. And going back to what Curtis Stevens is doing, like his legs are planted in quicksand. Canelo's not like that. He's so much more elusive now. Canelo is, So matching him up against David
That's
Lemieux.
Curtis' style. It's
Right.
It's not in a quicksand. It's really planting your feet in the dirt and landing some big shots. That's his style. And you know what? When people talk about like if that one Legendary Nights, right? And they go, "Oh man, Gotti, we all knew that it was going to be hell for Gotti if he met somebody that's opposite of him, which is Ward." This could be said about Lemieux and Stevens. This was going to be hell for either one of these guys as soon as they met somebody that was ballsy enough to come forward and throw big, heavy bombs. Because that's what you got here right now, dude, is you got some heavy bombs being thrown at you. There's really there's like a drop of boxing skill in there, but these guys are just letting their arms go.
There's definitely a boxing skill in there. You see what Stevens is doing is that every time Lemieux shoots a right hand, Stevens tries to shoot a left hook to the body, which is the call and response to if someone's throwing a right hand at you. And I'm sure that those punches bothered David Lemieux in a terrible way. You could see him right here in the corner. He looks a little bit like, I don't know, but this is a little tough. This fight's a little rough. And I know Curtis Stevens is a good puncher. He's a very decent puncher, especially down to the body. And you saw at the close of that round there, that left hook looked really nice.
Here's just something to note. No jab in either one of these guys. They didn't care about no jab. These guys were willing.
That's that left hook.
To really,
David, right there.
Oh yeah,
on that replay. Yeah, that left hook. That's something I took note of in that round. I was like, you know what? That left hook was remarkably placed. Well done.
All right, so now I'm down at Tecate, watered down beer, but that's all I got left, man.
That's it? You got to go back to the store?
I got to go back to the store. We do like a Friday night thing, Even though like shelter in place, there's nothing open. We've always done like a Friday night thing here at the house. Me and the old lady, man. We hang out, buy drinks, and then just chill out the whole night. Watch Howard Stern, listen to music. From oldies to high energy. I don't know if you guys know what high energy is. It's a Latin style music. To rancheros.
I was going to ask you what kind of music are you listening to?
Fly me to the moon.
Oh, you saw that video?
What video?
I put a video up on the Facebook.
No, I didn't.
Drumming.
The
Frank Sinatra. One of my favorites.
No,
I drummed to it. Fly me to the moon. Yeah, man.
Yeah, no, the only videos that I've seen is the ones when you were tweaking and stuff, hitting all the pots and pans and. I was like, damn, I hope this guy's not injecting that disinfectant shit in his body.
100%. You would think I would be doing this type of shit. Trying to keep myself entertained over here now.
I'm telling you, brother.
Absolutely, man. But so you listen to you said some Frank Sinatra. What else are you listening to?
It all varies, man. The mood and stuff,
Right.
It all really depends and stuff. But no, honestly, if I listen to Frank Sinatra, it's at work. Because the old lady doesn't like that kind of music. She's very simple. Oh!
Yeah, man.
There he goes.
Yep.
You want to go night-night?
You ever go night-night? That was brutal, dude.
That was a brutal KO, bro.
I'm like stuck here looking at it. Like, I think I was at this fight. I think I was actually at this fight. Was this in New York?
I think so. Madison Square Garden.
Yeah,
so.
dude. I think it was. Yeah, I was at this one.
Yeah, it was. It had to be. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Oh man, dude.
Oh, bro, look at him.
Terrible.
I mean, he was almost as bad as Roy right now. You know, Roy was out just like this guy.
I saw Curtis Stevens, unfortunately get knocked out quite a bit. Triple G in particular comes to mind. Madison Square Garden.
Ooh, and then he did that face like
when he gave that look. Yeah,
oh.
I was gonna say he gave that look, dude. I was in like I don't even know what row, but I was not close to the ring.
Yeah.
That night I wasn't there for media. I was there with friends and like hanging out. I could see his look from the ring in my seat all the way in the back of the room. Like I was like, damn, bro.
Who did it better, Gennady Golovkin or David Lemieux?
Ooh, that's a great question. I'm gonna say, looking at this right now, I gotta say Lemieux. Look at that. That's
so
bad.
Too.
That's bad. That's bad.
Yeah. But I think the reaction and what Curtis his face, like his face when he got hit and dropped for the first time by Gennady Golovkin, it said everything about Gennady Golovkin in punching power, and what he could do.
Oh yeah, he's like, you for real? He's like, bro, this is how it's going down. Ooh, Curtis Stevens hitting that canvas, man.
Afro Rican G, what's up, brother? How you doing, man? Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you, bro. Thank you for coming on board tonight.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is on your list, but I think one of the worst things I've ever witnessed in knockout wise is David Tua, John Ruiz.
Oh,
oof.
That's gonna have to be on the second list.
Oh my God.
Yeah. How about Tommy Morrison?
Oh, Ray Mercer.
Ray Mercer, bro.
And
but this is up there though. If you really think what David Lemieux did on the Curtis Stevens, this has got to be up there. I mean, because bro, he was when he got hit on the way down, his eyes were already closed. Like he's like, last call. last call. Yeah.
Drunk at the club, don't give a fuck. He was out.
He was out, bro.
Joey Gamasho Torogati. Oh.
Yep. That
was bad. And those are the type of like knockouts and fights you remember exactly where you were because it was like, an assassination of some sorts. Like you were like, geez, man, what the hell is going on here? It was so bad.
All right, so we're moving on now. We're going to go to Nonito Doniare versus Vic Darchinyan. And I had the pleasure to interview both guys. Nonito came on and was singing and everything right after Smoking Joe Frazier, and Nonito came right after that and was singing. But Vic Darchinyan, I remember interviewing him, and everything was I would KO, I would knock him out, I would destroy. There was just a confidence level about the guy that was like a match like no other, man.
I believe that a lot of people that I knew in the boxing world at this point in time in my life definitely picked Vic Darchinyan to win this fight easily. And, Doniare, great fighter. And,
I was rooting for Doniare. I'm going to tell you what. Here I am. I just moved to Modesto, California. It's pitch black. I had just bought my house there. So I had, a pretty good sized TV. Everybody was gone. Here I am sitting with a 12-pack. I'm rooting for Nonito because I'm from the Bay. I'm from San Jose, California, and he's from San Leandro. And I'm like, come on, Nonito. This guy beats the shit out of your brother, dude. I mean, you know what I mean? Gave him a beating. You need to redeem yourself. But just seeing what Vic Darchinyan was able to do to guys, bro, I was like, I don't know. I'm not quite sure.
Oh, dude, there's no doubt. And this fight, I remember exactly where I was. It's one of those key fights, and great call, David, bringing this one up because I remember exactly where I was, and I don't want to give anything away until it happens because like the payoff on this one was huge. It was significantly huge. And a great fight for the small guys.
This guy's got a great name in the chat room. Sir Jimmy Wax Long Dongs.
Jesus, is that a real thing? Jeez, wow. All right, because I can't see the chat, guys. I can only see the video. But salud. More power to you, brother.
D-Style's asking, did the Torres and Holt end up working? It didn't, bro. For some reason, it just wouldn't play. We're going to try it, though. At the end of, we got a couple more fights here to play.
Hey, D-Style, big up, man. I saw you were barbecuing today. We did the same thing. And good show the other day with the kid, man. That was clever. And we're all trying to make, new content and be creative. Big up, bro. That was awesome.
That sets him apart. It's a great plus for him.
All right, again, for some reason, it's
stuck. Yeah.
Yeah, it's stuck. It's freaking out on us. It's throwing some other shit, too, in the background. What the hell? All right.
In other news, David, I know you're doing things over there, multitasking. Steve Albert, I miss him. I thought he was such a great commentator. I thought he was like obviously the Lampley to HBO, on Showtime. I thought he was such a great commentator. I thought he was very straight down the middle. Called the fight. Just called the fight. Was a good entertainer, good host.
Man, as soon as D-Style mentions Torres and Holt, it ends up freezing up on us again, man. I don't know, man.
Yeah, it is what it is, man. I'm dealing with the tech issues all the time, so I totally get it, D. Absolutely. But in the meantime, we'll fill up some space, and I think what's amazing about big fights, and this wasn't really a big fight, but it was a very good fight and a fight that fight fans really were into, is that you remember where you were at that point in time. You remember who you were chilling with, what kind of food you had, And I watched a lot of fights with my father, who's a big fight fan, who I talk about regularly on this thing. And I just remember when this whole thing popped off the way it did, I don't want to give any spoilers, is that we were just in shock. We saw something amazing. We saw something just so incredible. And that's what boxing does. It's the theater of the unexpected. I think Larry Merchant said that. It might have been Howard Cosell. I forget who it was.
A lot of people said that.
Yeah, it's the best
so
way to
Jimmy,
put it.
Wax Long Dog. Dude. I love Nonito, future Hall of Famer. Absolutely, brother. D-Style Boxing that says, didn't he beat up Nonito's brother? Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. And this was, should have been the revenge. That's what I was saying earlier, This had to be the revenge for Nonito. And that's why I was hoping it was going to be a great fight. That should have been the incentive.
There's no doubt about it. It's funny, looking at Vic Darchinyan here, man. He looks so young. The one thing that stands out is that, at this point in his career, where he was at, and he was beating everyone up and had his whole world in front of him.
Right.
Look at him. Wild.
Nothing bad gonna happen. He's gonna walk out by his legs from ring.
And
nothing will happen. I would break him. I'm going to break him. That's what he would say. I will break him. I will break him. Dude. But I love his confidence though, and that crop style that he would have. I just loved it. I gotta admit, I was a big Darchinyan fan.
Tell us why you like that style. What made you like that?
It worked for him. I mean, it was it was against everything that you should do. He stopped. Vic walked like he thought he was 7 feet tall. Dude, did he ever, bro? And he talked like he was 9 feet tall.
True.
And that's what I mean. That style of his shouldn't have worked. It shouldn't have worked, but it did work.
The reason why I ask is, being, that I fought and, studied the game and taught fighters and stuff like that. Sometimes, like, things that are so unorthodox work for certain people.
Right.
Like, look at Muhammad Ali style. But you have to have supreme athleticism to do that. We watched Roy Jones Jr. earlier, unfortunately, get knocked out. And, the athleticism failed him there. But, it served him very well for a long period of time. Some people can get away with certain things. And it just, like, offsets the whole bar. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. How is this person getting away with this, mummy, Frankenstein, like you were talking about, type of approach?
Well, it was a crap. Like, I call it the crap style because he was just like, his arms.
Oh, yeah, I
his
remember.
elbows were all the way up here. His fit, but it worked. It worked, and I think it was because he was so hard to time, and really, I mean, what kind of sparring partners do you get to mimic that style? Because that style really, honestly, shouldn't really work in boxing, but it did.
Timing, rhythm is everything in life, dude. I'm a drummer, and like that's my whole focus of everything. And you're absolutely correct. Like, how do you time that? Remember the Drunken Master? In boxing and
Emmanuel
stuff.
Burton.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. Emmanuel Burton. And Prince Nassim Hamed, he was effective because
Very
you
effective
don't
with
know
his
what the
style.
hell. You don't know what to do with him. You have
Nope.
no idea how to approach it.
Nope.
And Vic Darchinyan was cut from the similar cloth, for sure. And again, going back to commentating, like everyone's always talking about modern day commentators. I miss Steve Albers, dude. He was awesome. This brings me back to like him, Al Bernstein.
Yeah.
Good calls, responsible.
You know who
calls
I
at the
liked a
mic.
lot? I'm going to tell you who I liked a lot. Even speaking to him, he was very approachable. He spoke to everybody. Steve Farhood.
Oh, dude, Steve Farhood's awesome. Yeah, of course.
Love Steve Farhood, dude.
100%. Great guy. Very approachable dude, and always knew how to call a fight. I love him on Showbox. Great commentator. And it's his boxing knowledge is insane.
Exactly.
And
Hey, D-Style, was your stream this pretty choppy this today? Because I know you had a show. I was able to watch a little bit of it, and then but I had to log off. I had to do some stuff at the house here. But yeah. Which, hey, dude, some good picks, man. Good picks. Keith Thurman, though, versus Ike Corte. What was your boy thinking, saying that Keith Thurman would beat Ike Corte? I was like, what? That's when I started. That's when I caught it. I tuned in. I was like, are you serious? Keith Thurman, the hardest puncher he's ever seen in welterweight?
I was listening to a podcast today that I respect very much so, and they were talking about Fernando Vargas, and they failed to mention the fight with Ike Corte. I'm like, that's one of the best fights I have ever seen in my entire life. How do you not bring that fight up?
I know.
And yeah, and Ike Corte
That's
with
actually
De La Hoya.
that's one of his best fights, if you really think about it.
I think that's Fernando Vargas' best fight.
But Ike Corte was small, bro. This guy moved up. He didn't look. I mean, he didn't fill up, and he wasn't the. He didn't have. D-Style saying he didn't have that much issues. But when Ike Corte jumped up, he didn't carry that same, size as he did as a welterweight. I mean, dude, he was a beast as a welterweight. His elbow covered up his waist, went up to the side of his cheek, and it was very hard. I mean, you talk about a tank shield, the guy had it.
I was going to say his guard was tremendous, and you hit the nail on the head, bro, when you talk about the elbows, covered up the rib cage. That was his biggest, high guard, but also being able to, protect his
jab,
body.
Bro.
Yeah.
His jab alone was just phenomenal.
Beautiful.
But that's like, from Ghana, right? That's where he's from. That's a big thing from where they come from. You got Kaladi, the same thing. Had a great jab. Arbeco, I mean, the professor who fought the great and late legendary Salvador Sanchez. I mean, these guys, fundamentals in boxing, they have it, There's no, and then the grit. I mean, these guys are just tough as fucking nails.
Yeah, man. And that's what it's all about. Everything in life, preparation, fundamentals, rudiments, just learning the trade.
And I tell you one thing, those guys did is they drink the real beer. Not no little glass with vodka with their pinkies in the air. Oh, there
we go.
Folks.
I got to do it now. I got to do it now over here now. A salute a Jendan.
Go ahead. Let me take this. Take a swig.
Gay.
That's what's up, bro.
There he goes. There goes Nonito, dude. And right off the bat, first round, Nonito just dropping bombs on him.
Yeah, relentless attack. Came in to win.
Yep.
You could always tell someone's persona.
Vic Darchinyan is right there, bro. I mean, Jesus.
You could always tell someone's demeanor, like if they're there to win. In hindsight, of course, I always say this being 2020, is that Doniare, you could certainly see he came there to win. Mm-hmm. Like, he wasn't fucking around, bro. Like, he's fighting. He showed he had no fear. Yeah, exactly.
He was willing to go in the fire and get scorched here and there, But, I mean, dude, this, to me, out of all Nonito Doniare's fights, I think the two best fights, if you had to give a list of the best fights that Nonito's done, this is the top. The first one is Nonito Doniare beating Vic Darchinyan. The second one is
Montiel, I think.
Well, I think on my list, that's the third one.
Okay.
Inoue, even though he didn't win the fight against the monster, to me, that's the second one that I believe is by far one of his best performances.
He was a monster against the monster Inoue, man. Like, that was crazy. I could not believe his performance. At the end of the day, I shouldn't even say that because that sounds stupid because this guy's such a great fighter. Yeah.
I thought it was comeback of the year for me.
Oh, 100%. And the showing he put up, and I think he broke his orbital bone, Inoue's orbital bone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. Especially so late in his career against a young lion like Inoue.
Yeah.
Wow, what an accomplishment.
Well, here's the thing too, that Nonito jumped up in weight. I mean, what was he doing? I mean, and I always said this. My biggest problem with Nonito after this win, he went hiatus, if you remember that. Left Gary Shaw, went to Top Rank, and then when he came back to Top Rank, it was Gary Shaw, right, that he was with?
Yep.
Yeah, it was Gary Shaw. And then like he went to like this whole. Look, Vic Darchinyan was arrogant as a fighter, but Nonito became arrogant after that win as a superstar. Like, he believed like he was in the same breath of Manny Pacquiao. It was like, bro, slow your roll, like, relax, do more before you start comparing yourself to some of the greats. I remember covering him and sending people to some of his workouts, and dude, it was like all fun and games for him. He was like imitating other fighters, their style, like showing he's got all this talent, but never really taking anything else serious. I mean, do you remember he became like a photographer for boxing media? Do you remember that shit?
I do. Yeah, of course. Yeah. And he was very passionate about it. He did a lot of interviews about it. He was very passionate.
I don't know if he was passionate about it, bro. I mean, I'm not in his head, but I just thought it was a gimmick, and I didn't like it. I don't know about you, but me or anybody else that's tuning in right now, I like my fighters to fight. Just fight.
No, I feel you.
Nothing else.
Especially if you're going to be in the fight game,
and
you got to be 100%.
If people are trying to compare you as for pound, dude, just fight, So again, the three fights that, in my opinion, that are top, on the top of the list of Nonito Doniare's biggest wins, just biggest fights, or performance, however you want to put it, is Victor Darchinyan, Inoue, and then Montel.
Oh, dude, there's no doubt. I don't know if you're gonna, pull up the, Montiel fight on this reel here. So I might bite my tongue on what my thoughts are on that one, but that was one of the most devastating things I've ever seen in boxing. That was a bad one.
I didn't. You know, I'm gonna tell you what. It's my third one. For one, is Montiel was not the same guy. I don't know anybody that was picking Montiel to even win that fight. I thought that Nonito was going to knock him out. Was it a great fashion? Absolutely. I mean, Montiel looked like he got hit by an electric wire, bro.
One of my friends said it best from back home when we were watching a fight. He said that Doniare knocked him into newborn baby status because if you see Montiel, he looks like a newborn baby, kicking and screaming, flailing the arms and legs. I'm like, yo, you just nailed it because that's exactly what it was. I mean, that was one of the more electrifying knockouts. One punch. I mean, granted, Doniare was doing his shit, but one punch that just – and for his weight class, we got to say this. For his weight class to carry that kind of power, that's ridiculous, man. And that's why Inoue had such a hard time. Credit to Inoue for dealing with – because power's the last thing to go.
Who didn't have a hard time, though? You know who didn't have a hard time with that?
What's that, bro?
Johnny.
I lost it.
Who didn't have Rigondeaux, bro?
It's true.
Rigondeaux didn't have a hard time with that. But right now, I'm gonna tell you what. Victor Darchinyan is having a hard time. What Nonito's doing, which I thought Nonito was always beautiful at doing. He was a counterpuncher from the get-go of his career. It's when he knocked out Montel is that when he decided to become like a Mike Tyson. Come forward, try to knock you out with one big punch. He found love with his punch. Here, you see him. He's putting his punches together, and he's being so elusive. This Nonito Doniare, I'll tell you right now, and that's what I liked about the Inoue fight. He fought this way against Inoue, the monster. Everybody else from this fight on, before the Inoue fight, fighting the Axeman Walters, Rigondeaux, Montel, all the guys he even knocked out. I mean, dude, he came forward.
What Doniare did in that Inoue
fight, right there, getting dropped.
He went to the well and he resurged himself to use those legs. Like if you watch his legs in this fight here against Victor Darchinyan in Doniare, great leg movement, and off the jab too, the pivots and the side to side, just great stuff from him.
D-Style reminded me that Rigo's cheek looked swollen from that one shot, and Rigo did get dropped. I don't remember if he did. Dude, I have to go back. That's actually one of my favorite fights. I'm going to have to go back. And I think the best KO, I got to contribute this to D-Style. D-Style, weren't you the one that told us we should do something like this? Johnny, wasn't it D-Style that told us that?
I think it was, yeah. And I think it's great to run back, KOs of I hate to say it, violent nature, but that's what people sign up for. They like boxing for a reason,
Yep.
We love the strategy. We're breaking down strategy right now, but to see someone get knocked out, like we were talking about Joey Gamache versus Arturo Gatti, I think that's the worst one I've ever seen. What's the worst one you've ever seen, David?
God, I don't know, man. There's quite a few, but that's got to be up there as well.
It's terrible.
And Joey Gamache, if I remember correctly, was suing Arturo Gatti. I wonder if he ever got the whatever happened with that.
Because of the weight?
Yeah,
issue?
dude. I mean, dude, there was a huge weight issue. There was a huge
he had
weight
20
difference.
pounds. He hydrated 20 pounds overnight. Gotti did. That was nuts. It was crazy. And the 3-piece he hit him with to finish that thing, what was it? An uppercut, hook.
Dude, there was 5 punches that landed on his chin.
Horrible.
Yeah. D-Style said, I think so. I was drinking, so I don't remember. And D-Style was drinking a Dos Equis and then Chicano Prophet is smoking some good stuff. So
What's the good stuff? What do you got? What are you smoking, bro? Talk to us. Let the listeners know what you're smoking, what you're enjoying. What's getting you through this pacifying? It's important that we all be safe, but have some fun as well. All right, so Vic Darchinyan here is doing his thing, stalking, like you said, walking around like the mummy in Frankenstein.
I don't know if he was walking around like the mummy in the Frankenstein because he moved a lot quicker than them. And
Yeah, it's true, but you see his hands like the way he's a zombie. He's coming
he's pretty
through.
fast for a zombie. I mean, yeah.
He's a fast zombie.
Yeah.
We'll give him that.
Oh, speaking about zombies, I just bought. Dude, I'm a huge fan of that Zombie Army game. I don't know if you ever played that. Phenomenal game. And the fourth installment finally came out. Fuck, beautiful. Love it.
Are you playing it on Xbox?
Playing on an Xbox, yeah.
Nice.
Hey, did you give up on your Friday night championship?
I did.
Did you?
I went back to GTA because I could hit the streets and just slaughter people and do what I got to do.
No,
Do fight
I
night.
finally made it online. I think I said this, right? Did I tell you about that? I finally made it online, and you know what? Forget about it. No doubt about it.
Forget about it over here now. Dude, I got my soul taken away from me on fight night.
Yeah.
I think my record right now is like 4-37. It's so bad.
Dude, I was playing, and I think I told you, right? I think I even mentioned this. I didn't even last the first. I think it was like the first or second round, you know. And as soon as I got dropped, I couldn't even get back up. I think I heard I was like, "What the fuck?"
Dude,
I mean, how could this happen?
have you been watching Curb Your Enthusiasm?
I haven't lately, man. No, I ended up
man.
unsubscribing to HBO.
You gotta get on one of
The
these
first
episodes.
episode was phenomenal. I got to give you that.
Oh, dude,
About the
it's
coffee
so
talk, about the color
It's so
of his
amazing.
homeboy's skin. That was great.
bro. You got to see one like they develop an app that is just genius, and I rarely use the word genius, but it's friggin' genius. Like, there's no way I could put it. You got to watch this show. You got to finish this season. It's probably the best season they've ever had.
Dude, look at that left right now, that left hook just landing beautiful on Vic Darchinyan's jaw. And Vic was taking like 2 steps back. He wasn't like taking like just a hit and still coming forward. He was taking a shot and moving his whole body back to come back in. But the guy was a raging bull.
Well, the writing was on the wall, and you can see what Doniare is that he knew how to fight Vic Darchinyan's
Well, he became
awkward
comfortable.
style.
Yeah.
Yep.
And look what he's
Got
doing.
very
He's
comfortable.
like super comfortable with what Vic's doing.
Yeah, and a lot of times a conventional fighter has a hard time with a southpaw stance, like we're seeing with Vic here with his southpaw stance. But if you see the little maneuvering that Doniare is doing right now, see those little side steps, those matter because it's making Doniare in a better position than Darchinyan has, because Darchinyan has to reset. Look at him; he's resetting every single time they're in exchange. At this moment in time that I'm seeing on my screen right here.
Yeah. And D-Style saying Vic was eating those shots. Damn. Kind of the way Johnny's over here throwing back those vodka shots and stuff. What's up, Alex? How you doing? Glad you can join us here on the show tonight on the Beer Boxing Quarantine 4.
Yeah, guys, thank you everyone that's joining in, Facebook, YouTube, however you're viewing the content. We all appreciate you, and hope you're all safe and your family's safe, and wash your hands. And don't touch your face too much either. But in the meantime, David, we're in round 4 right now, and Darchinyan is starting to move and press the issue a little bit. He's trying to take the fight to Doniare a little bit here. Yeah,
he is. I just put Alex right now on Facebook. Hi, Instacart enemy. I was doing the Instacart. She had told me about doing it, And so since we were both doing it at the same time, we would call each other Instacart enemy because we were fighting for the same territory, Johnny.
One thing I'm going to also mention about this fight, I'm definitely interested in this round. What's happening right here? It's a very telling round. I'm starting to notice the size of Doniare showing up here.
Well, I mean that was never an issue for Vic, because Vic was like, Vic, dude, he hit so hard, and he was so persistent coming forward. I mean, look at that straight left. The one thing is that he had there was no hesitation in him throwing the punch. He didn't care if he saw the target. He just threw it. He threw at it.
Yeah, I could see that, and he's definitely trying to walk Doniare back. I think it's majorly because he's feeling pressed and he's having issues, and he understands what a threat Doniare is.
And it's not like he didn't land. I love the swirl that Nonito just did right now, and that just tells you how comfortable he was, to tell you the truth. When I saw that, I'm like, okay, he's really comfortable. Like there's really no fear factor now. I think he's taken the best shot that Vic Darchinyan's thrown at him, and I think that this was telling for me. Watching it live, it told me everything, And there's his brother Glenn. I believe his name was Glenn, right? Glenn Doniare.
Yes, and what I said to start this, was the confidence that Doniare had. You could see it, like when the bell sounds, you could tell someone's demeanor, you could tell someone's energy. And Doniare certainly had a lot of energy going into this, and a lot of belief and confidence. And that tells a lot of character. Gendando now.
What are you drinking now? I saw it's like red.
I got some Fanta orange soda, some club soda, and some vodka. I got a little bit of everything over here now. Hey, why not?
You got some Russian, Mexican. What else you have in there?
I got Fanta, vodka, club soda, and some lime, some lemons. Doing
the big.
Hey, why not, man? I'm back to work tomorrow, so
right on.
Swing for the fences tonight.
Fifth round. Fifth round with Nonito Doniare versus Vic Darchinyan. The stream is looking good. No problems so far. I did take off the sound, and I think that did it. I think it helped out a bit here.
And speaking of swinging for the fences, this is a round you could tell already guys are going at it right here. Doniare definitely.
Well, from the first round, I mean, this honestly, it's been a repeat of what's going on. You got Nonito standing his ground, and then you got Vic. He's standing his ground.
Yeah, absolutely, and you can see right here, Doniare is definitely getting himself in position, leg movement, center of the ring, even in the corner of the ring. What he was doing there, just showing a lot of aggression.
Right.
Looking focused, and Darchinyan trying to stay alert. He's trying to land his big shot too. He got nailed right there.
Oh, his beautiful counter. He knew
that right
Vic was going to come forward. He just knew it, and bam! Oh man, look at that.
You remember afterwards, and I didn't want to spoil it before, that Darchinyan didn't even know what happened. He was pissed off. He was like, "What are you talking about? What are you talking about? The fight stopped."
Yeah.
Homie, you got knocked the fuck out. You got knocked the fuck out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He was laid out, bro. He was laid out. And that was just beautifully timed from Nonito Doniare.
David, I cannot say it better myself, like the timing of Doniare.
Yeah.
That's one thing I always appreciated him as a fighter as. His timing was very, very, and still is. His timing is very, very good.
Yeah.
And that's why you got what you saw there.
And his big brother, Glenn Doniare, is celebrating and thanking little brother, Nonito Doniare. And there's Vic. I mean, Vic is trying to get up. Vic is like, no, bring it back. Bring him back.
Jeez, man. Look at that. I forgot how messed up he was there. That was crazy.
Oh, bro, he was out. He gets dropped flat on his back, gets up, falls face forward.
Yeah.
That tells you everything. And, I mean, look, Nonito knocked out the reality out of Vic Darchinyan. That post-interview, he was like, I wasn't knocked out. And then they even showed him the replay of him being dropped.
They pulled it back to let him know. Like, no, you got knocked the fuck out.
No, that wasn't me. You know, he pulled the whole. I mean, dude.
Who was that interviewed him again?
He pulled the whole Trump thing. You know, Trump was like, I didn't say for you guys to inject chlorine. I didn't sniff Lysol. I said it sarcastically. Come on, man. Come on.
What was it? Jim Gray asked him, the question
he goes, that
about
looks like you.
And then he tried to bullshit him. Victor Darchinyan tried to bullshit him. He's like, no, you better knock the fuck out, bro. We're going to pull it up. Jim Gray showed it to him.
Jim Gray was like, no, that looks like you on the mat. He's like,
cold as ice, bro.
Not me.
But honest. Kept it real. Jim Gray came in and kept it real. He's nah, dude, you got to knock the fuck out. Yeah. Oh, this is a good time, dude. What's next on the menu here?
I just want to see this replay really quick.
You got it, bro. Let's do it. You got it.
Boom. Beautiful left hook. And there goes Vic, man. And Vic's trying. I mean, he's trying. Gets right. Ooh.
Oh, man, that's a walk-off home run. He knew it. That's a walk-off home run. When he landed that left hook, dude, and that was, I think, overall, his money punch. That was his money shot.
All right, let's go down now.
This bout is scheduled for 8 rounds of boxing in the super middleweight division.
All right, let's see what we got here, everybody over here now.
Fighting out of the red corner, wearing
a
black
smooth
trunks
video,
with gold
so that's
trim,
good.
And
Got some
weighing
showbox.
in at
Uh-oh, what we got?
pounds, he is undefeated in 17 fights, 17 wins, no losses, with 11 wins coming by way of knockouts from
Alan
Tulsa,
Green,
Oklahoma.
at this point in time, 17-0
Sweetness.
with 11 KOs. Pretty impressive record coming up. 17-0
out of the
KOs.
blue corner.
It's impressive.
Wearing blue trunks and weighing in at 167 pounds and entering the ring with a perfect record, 9 wins in 9 fights, all by knockout, from Bridgeport, Connecticut, now fighting out of Queens, New York. He is the second half of the
got over here now, 9-0 with 9 KOs, everybody. That's
Cordington.
It's a big success if you're a fighter, knocking everyone out that you ever fought. That's professional. I don't care if you're fighting, whoever you're fighting. 9 KOs in 9 fights is very impressive.
Okay, fighters, we're scheduled for 8 rounds, which obey my commands. Protect yourself at all times. Let's have a good, clean fight. Keep your punches up. Come out fighting at the bell.
Both these fighters, as you can see, exceptionally tall for this weight class. Cordington,
all right, I'm back.
2 or 3 pounds heavier now in the
got
ring.
You, bro.
He's probably about, I'd say, 170.
I remember this, dude.
Do you remember this fight?
Yeah, I'm starting to it's all coming together right now. I'm looking at it. I'm like, I remember this fight. Dude, Showbox was so good back in the day.
It still is, to tell you the truth. I mean, they still produce really good fights. It's just not as regular. And I see a lot of people that bag on Showtime. They're like, Steven Espinoza, ever since, think about this, ever since, hold on.
Oh, shit.
Over in 18 seconds.
Ooh.
Alan Green shocks the world. Nick, he said he'd be aggressive from the start. I didn't believe him.
Oh, man.
And that earned Alan Green on the Super 6 series, middleweight series on Showtime, where he ended up facing Andre Ward. But going back, what I was going to say.
That was brutal, dude. That was really fucking bad. Like, I gotta stop. Not to cut you off, bro. I gotta stop and like just reflect on this. Like you said before, when someone falls face down like that,
it's such a disgrace when a fighter is in need of medical care. Like,
and going back with Showtime,
and 400 people are in the ring. It's absolutely absurd.
You know, Steven Espinoza, when we know about him, I mean, what he was with Golden Boy. A lot of people questioned the loyalty, but then when Conor McGregor came out and started calling the Weasel, that's why I see a lot more folks on social media attacking him. But if you go back with the history of Showtime, and even with him on there, I mean, man, guys, I mean, they produce good fights.
Yeah, there's no doubt. You know, I was always a fan of Showtime. As mentioned before, Steve Alberts and what they did for boxing over the years, in particular, like my favorite fighter, Vander Holyfield. You know,
and this is so stupid. I'm sorry, man. This is so stupid.
No,
everybody's in there.
Yeah, I'm watching it right now. I was kind of like,
and I think
wow.
I think it's Steve Farhood. Somebody in there mentions that's frustrating to see so many people give the guy oxygen. You've heard this numerous times. Give the guy oxygen.
You know what? It's weird because people say
again. It was
Cordington, Jadon.
Yeah.
I think it was season 2 of The Contender. But my thing is this. Wow, that's amazing. I remember that. I have no idea where that came from. You know, the bottom line is they should have oxygen. And what I hear is that people are afraid of the tanks exploding. Like, they're like, you know, maybe there's something go wrong, whatever. It's a safety hazard. I'm like, dude, when someone gets knocked out like that, you need to get oxygen to their brain immediately. I didn't really. I forgot how bad that knockout was, dude. That guy's fucked up.
Nasty, bro.
He got fucked up.
But it made it on our list, and there's a reason why it made it on the list, because it was a nasty KO.
Yeah, man, he's out. But yeah, man. As far as Showtime's concerned, like, you know, I think that they'll, like Evan said on his show, that I think they'll benefit from all this, man. You know, in the long term, Showtime. With the content they're going to try to put out, being that, you know, the state that we're in. If you guys haven't listened to it yet, I can't break it down the way Evan Ratowski does. Check it out. Leave it in the ring. Does a great job. Breaks it down. Lets everyone know, you know, where the boxing state business is nowadays and where it's headed. And I'm so distracted right now by, like, I forgot how bad this guy got knocked out, dude. Damn. They guarded him out like that, huh?
Yeah, brother.
Jesus. That's a brutal one, David. You took us to, like, Mortal Kombat status. I'm over here like, yeah. Sub-Zero wins. Fatality. Like, what are you doing to me, bro?
Oh, man.
That's some brutal ass shit, dude. All right, so what's next on tap? What do we got?
You hear that guy in the background? I love you, Jay.
Yeah, I hear it. Dude, there's too many people.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you this. I mean, it sounds funny now. But I remember when it happened. This is really what changes fighters. You know what I mean? This can just ruin you completely.
Absolutely. There's no doubt. You know, a massive concussion, a severe knockout, and what it does to you mentally, like on national television. Like, unfortunately, this guy, I hate to say it, got embarrassed. That's terrible to get knocked out like that.
All right. This is just everybody arguing, so we're going to move on.
Why is there so many people in the ring during this? It's so bad. The smothering, it's too many. These people have to understand about social distancing. Do you feel me?
Here we go with Edson Miranda versus, I think his name is David Banks.
His father was shot and killed before he was born.
Okay. I have no idea what this is. Let's see it. It's running smooth, though. That's awesome. All right, what we got here?
If I remember correctly, I was at this fight, covering this fight.
No shit.
Yeah.
One of the things, of course, that
And this is when everybody was really high up on Edson Miranda. And
The stars have to line up just right.
What was his nickname? Pantera, right? Pantera?
what they called him. I mean, the guy used to
Yeah,
have heavy hands. And really made his name off of fighting Arthur Abraham, who, as a middleweight, was just very destructive.
Thanks. And by looking past him, maybe only looking for a knockout. Only with one
Yeah,
shot.
I remember.
Look at that, dude. 17 in first round KOs. He's had 17 under his belt.
17 in the first
When he
round.
fought Arthur Abraham, he had a broken jaw. So we all knew that he had heart. Not only did he have punching power, this guy had heart. And he was willing to go, dig deep. Not willing. He was, he dug deep to try to win a fight.
And then he found himself here with his
Well, that's the most important thing to be a fighter. You got to have heart.
where his career has really
know.
taken off.
Not to sound like Teddy Atlas over here, but it's mental. You got to have resolve. You got to have intestinal fortitude. There's no doubt about it. If you're going to be a
here's the
boxer,
thing with boxing, though, and tell me if I'm wrong about this. A lot of folks think that boxing is just letting your hands go and have heart. That heart's going to get you to a certain, what degree or whatever in the sport. But there's so many fundamentals, just not in the person, but if you don't have the right team to show you how to get there, how to place your punches, how to be mentally sound, and also how to guide your career in picking the right fights at the right time. Timing is everything in boxing, not just in how you set your feet and how you let your hands go and setting your opponent, but also who you're going to fight.
it's all about timing, and you nailed it on the head right there. As a drummer and musician myself, there's definitely things that connect to music, to boxing, rhythm, timing, and the bottom line is too, I keep going back to it, intestinal fortitude, the kind of heart it takes to resolve. It's crazy what these guys go through. And you're watching it right now, barn
There should
burn.
be no boxer. I'm going to tell you right now, there should be no boxers bitching and moaning about self-quarantine, being isolated at all, because a fighter's life is very boring, and it's really a lonely road to the top,
Yeah, my dad always told me that too when we talked about me amateur fighting, and not to make this about me, I try to not do that too often, but he always told me it's a lonely road, like you said, David, right there, and it's a long road, it's a long lonely road, and it's going to be a very difficult road, and the life of a boxer is rough, man. Just no doubt.
It's self-repetitive. It's boring. You do a lot of the same things over and over and over. You don't have a team to socialize. You don't have a team captain to bring up your spirit. A lot of road work.
There's no tag team. You can't tag anyone.
People don't start believing in you until they see you getting fashionable wins. You may have that one occasional mom and mother and family member that's gonna go with you at all the events, and they're gonna tell everybody you're the greatest thing next to sliced bread. But really, honestly, boxing is a very lonely sport.
Only
And here's the
place on
thing,
earth.
it's not like football, it's not like basketball, it's not like baseball, where after you're done and over with the sport, with the game, overall the game, there's very little chance that you're going to end up on a third seat of two guys that graduated for communications, right? A study for communications and media. You know, there's only so much room for that. PBC was doing a great job. They were letting their fighters kind of have like a circuit to see if they can land a career like that. But realistically, it's not something that is offered to fighters because they're not coming from, you know, they didn't go to college and then get picked up with a scholarship and then be offered a shitload of money to be a fighter. Whereas the Olympics, that's what it did. That's what provided. It was your college credential, your credits. You know, before you ended up on major television, this was the start going to the Olympics. So you got to respect fighters. You got to respect the fact that they isolate themselves. It's a very lonely sport. Going, you know, starting from the beginning and ending on top and then falling back down. Very lonely. And Edison Miranda, dude, had a great, tremendous story and fought to be on top. And right now, you're seeing right now, I mean, guys just aggressive. Not the most elusive, well-trained guy, but what he did was, I mean, look at his back foot. Everything was wrong in how we threw with that jab, you know? But it worked. And we talked about that earlier with Vic Darchinyan and like Prince Hamid. These certain things work, especially when you're heavy-handed like that. Vic Darchinyan, Hamid, and him, it worked because it was so heavy-handed.
When you're heavy-handed, you could believe in your power and you could show complete commitment to it and go fucking balls out.
Ricardo Mayorga comes to mind. Guys that just didn't do things right. But it worked.
But it worked. Exactly. We said it at the same time. But it worked. You know, and that's exactly what we're seeing from Miranda here. And that's what he was all about, is just going broke and worked with the tools he had, man. You know, like blue-collar people do. And that's what we're talking about, fighting through this coronavirus and this life we're going through. This is why we love boxing so much. Blue-collar people that fight through it.
I don't even know why the ref right there said it was a slip. I mean, he landed an uppercut.
That was definitely a knockdown.
And it buckled him where he slipped.
Knockdown. That was knockdown. Left hook lands, knockdown. Punch lands, knockdown. There ain't no doubt about it. And I just love like his work ethic. Like he was a fighter, and the again, consummate professional. Like that's what we like, dude. Like even though we know certain things about Miranda going down the stretch, like he always gave his best effort. Always worked with the tools he had. And that's what we're all doing. That's what you and I are doing right now.
Dude.
Albeit a little rutooty, what I call a little buzzed.
And that's a nasty, that's a nasty KO.
I just got the video feed right now. Wow.
I
remember this.
KO.
Now I saw it, I remember it.
And Banks
my
gets
God.
up. And he's wobbled, but I mean he's obviously he's fine. But I thought he got up too quick.
Yeah, he got up a little too fast, David.
The ref allowed him to get up. You know what I mean? Pulled him out because half his body's hanging out the rope, but still.
Wow. Just wow. But when you see a fighter like fall over the ropes and actually take the ropes down and weigh the ropes down, that's pretty bad. That's a bad knockout. You know, so if you're ever managing a fighter or have a fighter that you're concerned about and they fall down like that, you should definitely consider just waving that shit off.
But Banks looks good now. I mean, look at him. He's like, you know, I mean, at least right now you're witnessing him. He's like, okay, here I am. I'm okay.
Wow, man. Yeah, that was a bad one. Yeah, he has some power. He definitely had some power. Always fascinating.
Here we go. Let's watch replay. And he's just walking him back. I mean, that's all he was doing. Miranda was just walking him down, and bang, right hand just needed to land. And that's what he was looking for the whole night. And holy smokes, dude.
Oh,
damn,
man. You know what? You said walking him down. That's the telltale right there. See, walking, jab, decoy,
Yep.
shoots up, sets up the right hand with the jab, and look at that. Oh man, dude, the way he fell on those ropes. Look at that right hand. Oh, damn. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. What do we got next?
Right, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing silver trunks with red trim.
Well, I'm trying to get that Ricardo Torres and Holt, but it looks like, again,
with a record of 23 wins, 2 losses.
That fight doesn't like us.
It doesn't like us, bro.
It just doesn't like us. It's not going to happen.
Look at that. It doesn't even want to. Wow.
Yeah, I'm looking at the YouTube right now to the left of my screen over here, and yeah, I don't see it.
Yeah, it's not doing it.
Yeah, it just wants to be an asshole for whatever reason.
Well, guys, we tried with this Ricardo Torres and Kendall Holt.
Do we spoil it now, David? Let's go there.
Wow,
I want your thoughts.
Now it was Kendall Holt gets dropped, gets hurt, gets back up, and drops and puts to sleep Ricardo Torres. The way he did it though is when he catches him, Ricardo Torres just slumps down with his arm holding out the rope.
So I want to ask you this, David. Do you think it was a headbutt or a shot that put down Torres? That's what I was trying to go at before. I think it was a headbutt.
I don't know.
I think it was a headbutt.
I have to watch it. I just downloaded it, and then I remembered that. That's what I was going off of. Yeah.
When I watched it back in the day, I really enjoyed the fight. I'm like, wow, this is awesome. But then I saw replays. I'm like, wait a minute. I think Torres got headbutted. Now, people, correct me if I'm wrong. Check it out. See what's up. Amazing firework first round. Craziness. Balls to the wall for both guys. But I think Torres kind of headbutted. I think he caught a headbutt, and that's what hurt him. Let's see if we can pull it up on separate YouTubes here, even if you guys can't see it. So, David, I would love to know your thoughts because I respect your boxing opinion, obviously. But let me see.
Well, my thing's frozen. Everything. I can't pull anything up right now. So.
You're all locked up.
Yeah.
All right, so this is a conversation, I guess, for another point in time.
Another time, yeah.
But the bottom line is, I want to know your thoughts on it, David, because I really think that that knockout was a little controversial.
All right, guys. Well, again, man, thanks for joining us here on Leaving the Ring Boxing. Well, it's Beer Boxing Quarantine. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I apologize for the difficulties that we're having here on the show. But the Torres and the Kendall Holt, for some reason, it just doesn't want to play. I think there's one fight.
It doesn't like us, bro.
There's always one fight here so far in the Beer Boxing Quarantine that doesn't want to play. Again, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for staying up this late with us, man. It's going to be midnight, and we'll see.
And we can only hope Ricardo Torres is all right.
You getting it?
Yep.
Oh, shit.
We're still on, man, but yeah, it doesn't want to kick us off yet. So let's see how it goes. So how many vodka shots so far?
Throughout the course of the day, I think it's more tequila than vodka.
Day, huh?
I
wonder why you're taking so long to answer your phone, man.
No, but that's the internet. I'll tell you straight up. Good point, valid point. But I'm gonna blame the internet on that shit.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I a couple tequilas, some beer,
wow,
vodkas. Yeah, we're having fun over here.
Right.
How about you, bro? What did you drink tonight?
Well, right now on 805, Tecate, and then the Easy Jack IPA.
Yep.
So I'm on my fifth beer. This is the fifth beer.
That's what's up.
And that's about it. All right, guys. Well, have fun. Come on, have fun tomorrow. Enjoy the whole week and stuff. If you're working, good for you. Be safe. Take the precautions. If not, man, keep enjoying staying home. Pick up some new hobbies with the old lady, the old man, with the kids, whatever. Whatever you can do and stuff. Try to get to know what more your kids like. It's a chance for you guys to connect. And if not, watch some boxing. Watch some old fights.
David, I like that you say that, we're going to close out here, but you send a very positive message, like connect things you like, albums, music, television shows, movies, all that kind of great stuff with your family, and find out what your kids like, what your wife likes, whatever you guys make you happy. David, that's a great message to send out.
I try to do that, Johnny. I try to do that, man. You know what I mean? All right, man. I'm trying to log off this damn shit, but it's just not letting me. All right, guys. You guys take care. Johnny, I'll talk to you in a short bit, brother.
Absolutely, David. Thank you so much.